Right, starting. Hello and welcome everyone to the Friday, June 14th edition of the SIG ContribEx Comms Subproject Team meeting. As usual, a reminder that we operate under a code of conduct, which essentially says to be respectful of your fellow speakers and attendees and generally be excellent to each other. At the beginning here, we like to offer an opportunity for the folks who are on the call to introduce themselves, totally optional. I will start us out. I'm Caslin Fields, and I am a co-lead of this sub-project and also a co-chair of the Special Interest Group for Contributor Experience, which this is a part of. This sub-project is part of the overarching SIG. And the contributor comms group here is primarily focused on making sure that the contributor community knows what's going on, so communications among contributors, and also to some degree communications externally toward end users and the general public about the awesome work that contributors are doing. Would anyone else? Oh, and my pronouns are she, her. I remembered.
Yay. Hey, y'all,
Would
I'm
anyone
Chris
else like to
Short.
go? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Chris Short. I'm also the other co-lead of this project and been around the Kubernetes project for a long time now and happy to be here and help y'all if you're new or if you're not new, I guess. Yes, I don't know where I'm going with that. Pronouns are he, him.
Hi, I'm Mario. I am working for Kubernetes and I'm doing stuff in the Kubernetes project in SIG Infra, SIG ContribEx, and SIG ContribEx Comms. I'm currently the shadow for the sub-project lead and pronouns are he, him.
Hello, I might go as well. I'm Fred. I work at SAS. I've essentially work in ContribEx comms around the blogging area. I'm also a part of the current Kubernetes release team as a release lead shadow, and my pronouns are he, him.
Hi everyone, my name is Arujul and I'm a contributor here and my pronouns are he and him. Thank you.
Hey everyone, so my name is Arpit. I have been part of the SIG ContribEx for a year or so now, and I am shadowing under Yasin for the social media coordinator. And yeah, it's been an awesome journey till now, and just going with the flow.
Welcome, welcome, folks. Is there anyone else who would like to introduce themselves? Alrighty. And one last opening item. I would ask if anyone would like to be note taker. And Mario, you've already taken us up on it. So thank you very much for volunteering. And with that, I think we'll dive into our agenda. Starting off with new items, I added in one thing, which is that I'll be out next week. I'm actually taking a couple of days off, which is exciting. So Mario, would you like to lead the meeting, or Chris as well? But Mario should probably do that.
I'm out next week because it's the first time having vacation this year.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Vacation time.
Good. Yes. Like I've taken like 3 already this year. Please do.
Would you like to run the meeting, Chris?
Yes, I will run the meeting next week, it looks like.
You can also open it up to other folks if you would like to. It does not always have to be a
I
lead
will-
or a lead shadow. Anyone
Right,
can.
true. That is very true. I
meetings.
will be here to steward the meeting if I am not leading it. Yes.
If anyone, by the way, any of you all want to try running the meeting, just tell us. We would love to give you that experience.
I can try.
All right.
Sounds good.
Chris, you up for that?
Yeah.
But I
When someone
never-
new is running the meeting, we prefer to have someone who has run the meeting before there to help you out if you need it.
Like I
Yeah,
never run a
that's
meeting
all.
before, but yeah, like seeing you running a meeting for almost a year now. So let's see how
Yeah,
difficult it can be.
it's not
Yeah,
that
try
hard,
it out.
to be honest. The biggest thing is just keeping everybody on track and on time. That's it. So yeah,
I don't do that. On track, yes. On time, no.
I try. I try. I don't succeed.
We were successful last week. We finished 5 minutes early.
Very.
Very
Yeah.
impressive.
Well, you needed to, right? Like you had to
Yeah.
go.
When you have that pressure, that is important.
Yeah. No
Um,
kidding. I should
one other
probably
thing.
before I let me
Go
just
ahead.
double check my schedule next week, but I think I'm good. Yeah, I should be good.
Awesome. So Arpit to lead. Arpit to lead with Chris's help. Excellent. I think you'll have fun with that. Enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
The important
Yeah.
thing to remember is doing the code of conduct reminder at the
Preamble.
beginning, and yeah, you just kind of go from there. Chris will help you remember
And
all the
Arpit,
things.
yeah. If you want me to like start it and then you take it over, I can do that too. Whatever works for you, buddy. Seriously.
I feel like the beginning is like the structured part that you have to get, so
Good
might as
point.
well do
Yeah.
that.
Like I will try it from the start. Let's see how it went.
I'll let you know
Have
if you forget
fun.
anything in a very nice way. Don't worry.
All right.
It should be
Let's
fun.
move.
You should enjoy it.
Yeah, have fun with it. That's really the most important thing. A lot of folks here are volunteers. If we're not having fun, what are we doing? One other item that I want to add into new items, which is more a reminder for myself than anything else, and also an ask for accountability, is I am inspired by Frederico's recent blogging shadow document and have been working on shadow documents for the comms for the contributor summit. And I'd really like to work on better documentation for the social media shadow because Arpit, I know I haven't been doing a very good job of leading you and gaining the right skills for that. We've done a few things, but we could use more structure. So I would like to do some more work on that. So we should talk about that in Slack, Arpit.
Yeah, sure. Like I'm actually just going to ask you whether we have any social media coordinator set responsibilities or not, so that I can or someone who wants to work with us can do.
There's a loose list in the social media lead handbook, but it's really just a list of like, here are the things that you need to achieve and not a guide on how to achieve them. Just something that I expected myself to figure out, and that has been challenging. So I'd like to come up with more process for that because this has been an issue for like years where I've been the social media lead and I'm also doing a bunch of other things. And especially now that we have the Kubernetes.io account, which by the way, that's another thing we need to finish up that guide. Mario had created the
Yeah,
draft of that.
I just ignored that Chris put in remarks because for whatever reason it didn't tell me that there were remarks added to it. So because I
That's weird.
just went to the document and saw the remarks, so I will now work on the remarks and then we can maybe add them into a draft PR and then move them forward.
Arpit,
Question in
on
the chat.
the steering election, did Josh hand that off? I forget.
I can
He handed it to
yeah,
you?
I can update on that.
Oh God.
So they
Okay.
just so Josh had asked the possible election officers if they were available. One of them wasn't. I think they've sorted that out at this point. So I think they'll be announcing the selection of election officers fairly soon, which I am not one of them. But we should expect one of the yeah, you're not either, I don't think. But we should expect one of the election officers to create the plan and like manage comms for the election and then come to us for help.
Yeah.
So we should figure out how they are organizing that and then support them as they need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually working with Josh and Xander and Paris. I'm part of
Oh yeah, that's
the
right.
elections
You're
thing.
one of the election officers.
Ah,
Maybe
Yeah,
you'll be the
yes.
comms one.
If you need help, let
No,
us
well,
know.
where I'm
But
part of
yes.
the ones that end up discussing the runner who should be appointed. Yeah, who
You're
could
one of
serve
the like
essentially.
you're
Yeah,
one of the
so
members of the sub project.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, but no
Sounds
major news here. I mean, there are guidelines around those that have already served a certain number of times. There are people that haven't. So I guess I wouldn't. I won't be saying anything out of line if I say that in the next days or so there will be some communication around it.
Yeah. So the couple of times that I was an election officer, I kind of like made a whole plan and we did election comms and it was very tied in with this group. We could find those docs and
Yep.
say like, hey, this is what we've done in the past. Would you like us to just kind of roll with this for you to the election officers? And they might appreciate that. So thank you, Arpit, for bringing it up. If that's a project that you enjoyed doing, we could propose doing it similarly to how we have in the past. Do you like that idea, or would you rather wait for the election officers to tell us what they want? Either way is acceptable.
Yeah, actually, we can do it.
You'd be interested in doing it again?
Yeah, I'm interested in doing it again with some more responsibilities.
Cool. We can, yeah, we can find the old docs, and propose a plan for comms to the election officers. That might help them out. They don't have to accept it, but I imagine if we drop proposed comms on them, they will probably be thankful for it.
Probably, yeah.
So let's plan to do that. The election is still pretty far out. It's not until what? October? It's like
September,
right
October.
before KubeCon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
September,
because we
October,
try to
I
announce
think.
it at KubeCon, right? Or
It's right before KubeCon. It's in
Okay.
the fall. It just happens to align. I don't think it's intentionally aligned with KubeCon. Just happens to be. So things should be kicking off there soon. Like Frederico was saying, I don't think they even have the election officers solidified yet. The sub-project members is what was solidified.
Yeah, the sub
And they
project
will
is
pick them.
yeah, but not the because there needs also to be made sure that both parties are from have a company spread so that it's different companies.
Ooh.
Yeah, the election officers that they are spread across different companies.
Yeah. And also the elected
Yeah.
steering committee members. Also, there are requirements there. All right. Any other new items or updates and big wins? Alrighty. Then we can move into the board a little bit early. Let's go ahead and do that, and we'll see what we remember along the way. Kind of a light week here at the beginning of the summer, thankfully. Just nice. Or our memories are just not there yet. That's usually what it is for me. All right, I have brought up the board. I'm going to put that in the chat. Arpit, also go ahead and send me a DM on Slack so that I remember to talk with you about. Well, I'll probably like come up with a doc and then have you kind of review it, and we'll talk through the options that I come up with and stuff like that. We'll see what I come up with. So let's move into the board. Let's start with the ready for review column. The first thing is SIG node, which is also our pit. Looks like that's merged. Has that gone out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's merged.
Wonderful.
So there
And
was
then-
a slight mishap last week. I wasn't here in the meeting, but because of the 10th anniversary of Kubernetes blog, I ended up having to work with Chris fork, and GitHub only allows you to have one fork of each.
That's
So
right.
I ended up deleting websites, which closed all the PRs that
Oh yeah.
were there.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, but fortunately, it doesn't really delete the files that are in GitHub. It just deletes all relationships with the origin fork, which isn't there. So anyway, I remedied that during this week. I've recreated with new PRs based on the last approved version, and then it was it was just a quick approval because it was already mostly reviewed. So it's merged and it's up for publishing. I can't remember exactly when, but somewhere during next week.
Human errors will happen, especially in comms. So resolving them is an important skill to have. So thank you for working through that. It sounds like it's pretty much resolved now and you're
Yep.
good to go again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe that has its benefits in reminding how all of those connections work.
Yes, indeed. I guess it's a weird limitation because it means that any single person, unless I'm missing something, but we can't really work on forks of others when having our own. So yeah.
Yeah. That's so
That
weird.
is good to know. We should maybe add that to the blogging guidelines if it isn't already in there, some kind of note about that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, good one.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
not
set
like
up
the
my
fact that I had to merge your own
Yeah.
PRs into my thing before they showed up in the regular thing. It was weird. And that's my fault too. So sorry.
No, I think you did what you had to do. It's just the way that it works. I wasn't. I think that submitting to your fork, it's absolutely fine. The limitation of having to choose all pending work on my fork or being able to contribute to yours is the limiting factor here, which I didn't really anticipate the side effects that it would have. But I mean, nothing major. It was mostly just recreating stuff. The content was there, and the content is it's what matters in the end.
Noted.
wonderful work. So when did that get published? 2 days ago, it looked like?
Merged, yes,
updating.
but the publication date, I think it's still for next week.
Okay.
Maybe I'm
Cool.
wrong, but
No, I think you're right.
I didn't think I'd seen anything on social media about it. But I do
I'll
miss those
check.
sometimes.
And I actually have to update the comms board because the PR that you have there right now is not the right one.
Oh, okay. I just
The right
moved
one is
one of them to done.
yeah, it works. I mean, it's as a you see, it's 20th. Yeah, it's next week. So the 20th is next Thursday.
Okay. So I'm gonna update. We have like 3 items for this. We have the issue, we have the PR, and we have like a board item that's just one of those like post-it notes.
Yeah, and now we have another one, which is a second. It's a second PR. So, yeah, too much
Yeah.
PRs about nothing.
All good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move the issue and the PR that is merged into done, And then I'm going to leave the post-it note one with a note that it's going to be published on the 20th, so we can check back in on that and make sure that it went smoothly. Cool. The next item is the shadowing guide for blogging. I actually reviewed that 2 weeks ago. So that was good. I think.
Okay.
I think I did that. Yes, I did. Haha. And Arvind had added a couple of notes to it. When was that? 2 weeks ago. So that's where that is. Any comments there, Frederico?
About sorry?
The shadow guide. Looks like it has some open comments from Arvind.
Oh,
and
no,
I had reviewed it.
I haven't caught them. Apologies. I've been, as I mentioned last week, I'm both on time off of work. I'm on vacations this week, but also I was moving and I've just settled and a new one. So as you can probably see from the background, but it's still a bit chaotic. So I'm still not 100% back to my usual form at least. So I'll take a note of that and I'll review it today. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you for being on, even though you're on vacation. I mean, we do not expect people to do that. Like I said, I'm going to be out
No,
next
but
week.
I mean,
I'm
it's
on
fine. It's
vacation,
fine.
but
I was out last week as well, and I didn't want to. It works for me, so it's
exactly, yeah.
it's not an effort. Yeah.
Yeah. If it works for you and hopefully you enjoy being part of it, then we're happy to have you. If I was out for 2 weeks in a row, I would also want to be on probably. So I can relate. Cool. So the shadowing guide has some comments ready for your review whenever you get to them.
I'll go now.
Any questions, comments about that? Or we'll move on to the next item, which is the SIG API machinery spotlight article. I also did some comments on that one 2 weeks ago.
And yeah, and
Yep.
they were reflected in the document. And I've removed the work in progress, and I've actually in doing this, well, my morning, I've mentioned it in our Slack channel as well. I've removed the work in progress tag, so it should be we should be getting additional reviews from SIG docs briefly. Your
Wonderful.
suggestions are already there in my
Yeah.
last commit.
Did you add the link that you mentioned about the trampoline?
No,
pod attacks?
that one is still open. I didn't close it.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it open just to get a bit more feedback. But
Okay.
if we are in agreement, I can certainly add it one way or the other. I'm not sure if a editor note makes sense in this case, or because just because it's an external blog.
Yeah,
I'll check
exactly.
with Tim as well, because this is sort of finer details that he might have well, a suggestion that is more sensible than the one that I'm thinking of.
Cool. Sounds good. So I would love to know more about what a trampoline pod attack is.
Same.
Yeah, what a term. I'm interested. Tell me more. But yeah, since the resource that you have for explaining that is a Google blog, we'll see what the docs folks have to suggest.
Yep.
Which also reminds me, by the way, one thing that I wanted to add in is that I did get a request this week for comms because the etcd folks are doing some blogs, but they're doing some blogs on the Google open source blog. And so they asked if we would like share those blogs, and I said no. And I explained that even if our open source contributors are doing some awesome work creating some blogs in coordination with vendors, which totally encourage, should totally do that. Sounds great.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we probably don't want to promote those on like our social media and our contributor channels, because we could get into a situation where our contributors are doing a lot of work with one company, and then we end up doing a lot of social media posts with posts from a specific company, and then it looks like the Kubernetes community is super deeply tied to that company, and we don't want to imply any kind of association like that. And also, if we do that for one company, then some other company might come knocking and say, "Hey, we're doing all of this open source work. Why don't you talk about that?" And we don't want to be in that game. So I told them no. But awesome work. Keep doing it. So I should probably add that to the notes, but wanted to share that for folks to learn from.
Thank
Cool.
you.
So any other questions about that request or about the SIG API machinery spotlight article, which is in review? All right, I think we're good to go then. We can move into in progress. The first item there is the SIG architecture spotlight. Any updates there?
No, not
Enhancement
really.
spotlight specifically, I
Yeah,
guess.
still insisting, still trying to get someone to reply.
Okey-doke.
Not more than that. It will be done. It's just a matter of keeping the pressure there. So it's yeah.
That's how it works. These blogs can be long-lived projects. So we'll move on to the next item, which is SIG etcd spotlight article. How's that going?
Yeah, we've shared the questions with, let me remember with whom. With Wenjie Zhang, which is the person that well, the contact that I have and that I've talked with during KubeCon. So she has the questions and she's collecting the answers as a in with the entire group. She will provide a unified answer to it. So it's in progress, really. We're waiting for the answers.
All right, sounds good. Since they're doing that other blog series, hopefully they are kind of in a blogging mindset and ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Vendor or company. I added a note about that one that I mentioned
Thank
into
you.
the notes.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Cool. Next item on the list is the spotlight on SIG security.
Yeah.
This is Sriram. Is that still moving? Questions had been shared May 24th. So I think he said that it was on pause or something.
The SIG security one, I think that Arujwal was helping with that now, and that we took over. So
oh, yes, you're right.
yeah, right. And I mean, if Arujwal is here, he might provide his feedback. Just to, I don't want to speak in his behalf because he's now the one picking this up. Do you want to give us quick feedback, Arishwal?
Yeah, like I got a response yesterday from one of the SIG lead, and yeah, like now they will be starting answering the questions.
Yay! Thank you for seeing that through. It can take a
Thanks.
while sometimes. I think
Yeah,
your
it's fine.
first blog post was quite quick, right? So now you get to experience the slow ones.
Yeah.
Fun times. It's important though. So you've gotten some responses. Well, you will be starting to get responses now. We'll be starting to get responses now. And also another reminder that this is your second SIG spotlight, right? Am I remembering that right?
Yes, this is my second one.
We definitely need to be working on getting you org membership as you get that PR finished at least.
Thanks.
I'm going to add a note on that. Getting org membership. All right. I have added that comment and also added a comment that you're working on getting the responses now. Thank you very much for seeing that through. Any other comments on that? Shall we move on? All right. The next item on the list is SIG scheduling. That spotlight is owned by Arvind. And Arvind is out today. But any other updates from anyone about the spotlight on SIG scheduling? It looks like last week Arvind got assigned, so I guess he has org membership now? Is that a thing that happened?
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
No, we figured it out that the person needed to comment or to self-assign to an issue, then it works. So you can only assign org
Interesting.
members, but people can self-assign them.
Huh. That's weird.
Cool. Weird and cool. Yeah.
I wonder if that's intentional.
No idea.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow. I'm gonna write myself a note about that to look into with the tech leads. Prow. Self assign versus assign org. Okay. Maybe that'll be enough for me to remember. Thank you for figuring that out and for getting that issue going. All right, then I think we'll move on. Let's see. The last update on that was questions were being answered in the middle of May. Last few questions were temporarily on hold. That was the one that was temporarily on hold. And then June 7th, the questions were all answered in Markdown. So they were able to start moving forward there, looks like. And Mario helped with that last week. Thank you very much, Mario.
Oh, I just added notes. I was just the person that updated tickets.
That is important work. In fact, some of the hardest work to get done sometimes, even though it's relatively quick and simple, hopefully most of the time. It can be hard to make the time for it. So thank you for doing that. Let's move on to the next item then, which is help wanted posts. And once again, we have failed to do that.
Oh God, yeah.
We need some structure there or something to make that better. We tried this time and it wasn't enough structure to get us past the hurdle. So something for us to look at again. Maybe Chris ping me on DM and we'll just like have a little conversation about it in Slack just to kind of try to think on it.
Yes, but next week, please.
All right. Well, I'll be out the second half of
That's true. Never mind.
So in 2 weeks.
Which means I won't remember, so there's that.
Exactly. We'll see what we can do here.
Yeah.
I'll move on from that for now. We're making good time. Let's keep doing that. Next item, automation, Zapier stuff. This is specifically about Zapier automation for YouTube, but any Zapier updates in general?
Not really. I mean, there's an issue a couple weeks ago, but it was Nigel doing it as opposed to somebody else. But it definitely is working. Right? Like as intended.
That feels like a very dangerous comment right now.
Well, yeah, but like the alerting we have set up works. That's been tested. You know, Nigel's cleaned up some stuff, I think, and
yeah, it was when he tried to upload the missing videos from the Contributor Summit in Paris because they were wrongly uploaded to the CNCF YouTube account and not the Kubernetes one, and then he tried to move them or to upload them to the Kubernetes one, and then the issue the error came up.
I see. That would happen there. Seems a little complicated.
Yeah,
Good to
I
know.
honestly didn't know why it was uploaded in the CNCF one in the first place, but I think this was just because CNCF stuff switched between Chicago and Paris.
Understandable. We got to work through these issues sometimes. So. All good. Cool. There was one person that I had talked with on Slack, and I think there was a message in a public channel with that person saying, "Hey, would you like to become a YouTube admin?" Because they
Yes.
had mentioned some interest in that. Any
All the
movement
YouTube
there?
admins were here in this meeting last week, so we had a nice conversation, I guess, about it and trying to get Chad onboarded. So I haven't
Nice.
done anything with that this week, but yeah, like he's very
Creating
experienced.
onboarding structure.
Yeah, like he's very experienced at YouTube, so it's really just a matter of
Oh, good.
getting him in there. Yeah. So
Wonderful.
yeah,
Sounds like a
like
good
it's not
find.
yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, trust me.
Wonderful. Glad to hear it.
It's a good thing.
Creating onboarding structure is my my jam right now.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
like with as few admins as we have right now, I have no idea what to do, right? Like, do we just
Right?
flip like permissions over or what? Right? Like, oh,
Feel like I've had a trend here. The first time I try to onboard someone, it's like, I didn't have any onboarding. I don't know how to
right?
onboard you.
Right. Like, I've been an admin of the YouTube channel since we've been doing community meetings. Remember when those
Yeah.
stopped years ago?
Yeah. And the contributor summit onboarding experience was interesting for us, wasn't it, Chris?
Hmm. Yes.
You're the
Mm,
comms lead now. Figure it out.
kidding.
Yep. So, but we're working on that. So glad to hear that you have a good candidate for YouTube administration.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next item, which the next item is also Zapier. So I figure we've just covered Zapier in general, right? No
Yeah.
other
Yes.
Zapier things beyond
Not to my
YouTube.
knowledge.
Okie dokie. Sounds good. The next item is the sensitive comms process. I considered tuning into the security meeting this week and talking about it, but had other stuff going on and chose not
Yeah.
to.
I am also kind of at a stuck point with that.
Do you need help getting unstuck?
I don't know. I don't know what I need, to be honest with you. I need a lawyer, right? Like that's what it feels like sometimes. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know Mario had assigned himself last week.
Yeah, I wanted to take a look into the document that you shared, but I was traveling in the beginning of the week and then I got sick.
Yeah.
We should
And my
never.
wife took my laptop from me.
Yeah. All good. We should aim for this to be a doc that does not require legal consultation to build. And in areas where we think legal consultation would be needed, we should advise folks to talk to the SIG co-chairs who can talk to the CNCF who can talk to lawyers.
Yes.
So we shouldn't let that be a any legal things be a blocker, but there are other things that can block this as well.
Yeah, it's not
It's
so
more
much
just finding the time to think through it.
yeah, think through it and get the language right and not yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Mario, and I just put that on my to-do list as well. Maybe I can give it a review and help move that along. Thank you for getting it as far as it is.
Yeah, I mean, when you can also have a look into the Kubernetes IO use policy, I think this has been developed further than the sensitive communication.
Wonderful. Yeah, that is going to be a top priority for me today, I think, because we really need to get that done. And it also is related to the social media shadow structure that I want to build. So I'm putting that on my to-do list right now. Good. Thank you, Mario, for creating the initial guide there. I will try to review
Oh,
that
Chris
today.
started it. I just blew it up.
Teamwork.
Nicely done.
All right. So I may need the link to that again. If you happen to have it and want to ping it to me, that would be handy. Because
Yes, I can.
I don't have it in the doc because we had wanted, I think, to review it again before putting it in the board, but we could also put it in the board. I'm fine with that at this point. All right. So any questions on guidelines for sensitive and user impacting comms or guidelines for usage of Kubernetes IO? And if no questions, then I'll move on to to-dos. Alrighty, let's move into the to-dos. So the top of the to-do column is a SIG apps spotlight, which had been assigned to Sundapan in May. He had mentioned interest in doing it. Has there been any movement there? I'm gonna guess not. A SIG apps spotlight. So that was 3 weeks ago that Sundapan had an interest in doing that, and there hasn't been any movement. Should I unassign him or should we ping him? Those are the two options. Opinions? All right. Since there's been no movement and stuff, then I think
I think he is busy in GSOC because he got selected for it.
oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah. Good.
maybe
Oh,
the reason.
yeah, that's right. Makes
Sorry.
sense.
We talked over
Sorry.
you a little bit with our exclamations there, but what were you saying about it?
So I think that is the reason he might not be able to join the comms meeting and everything. We should ping him and ask him what to do.
Okay. I will do that right now then. Sorry, it'll just take me a second. Cool. I have sent a ping and asked. So I guess I should update the note on the thing about that as well. 14th June. 4. Checking in if someone still wants to do this. All right. Sorry for the slow typing. Thanks for bearing with me. All right. The next item is the SIG release spotlight. There was an idea to do a second one. Nitish hasn't been in for quite a while, and that was in September. So I think we've had that one SIG release blog, so it's not like this is urgent or anything. Should we leave it in to do, or should we just make it won't fix for now? Can always come back. I think maybe I'll make it won't fix for now. If folks have differing opinions, let me know. All right, next item is a steering spotlight blog, which Arpit was interested in doing. Are you still interested in working on that, Arpit? You're finishing up your node one right now, I know.
The node one is done actually. So
Yeah. Actually, Arpit, weren't you gonna do a spotlight on kubectl? Wasn't that a thing that we talked about? If you're talking, you're muted. All right. We'll come back to that then. Eventually, such as spotlights. The next one is a SIG docs spotlight, which Arpit had also mentioned interest in doing. So. Oh, Arpit has
Oh yeah,
unmuted. Okay.
I also remember to ping steering members. I completely forgot to ping them after that meeting.
All good. That's how it works. Can relate. So steering and docs in the to-do column are both things that
Yeah.
you've mentioned interest in, but didn't we talk about a kubectl spotlight as well that you were interested in doing?
Yeah, we have actually when we are submitting the talk, we said that we can do a spotlight basically on a special tool like such as kubectl. We can plan it.
If you're going to pick up one now that you're done with the node one, I'd recommend that one since you have a talk that goes along with it.
Yeah. Also, my talk at CO Navigate doesn't got selected.
Oh well.
Actually, they don't email. Like I don't receive a rejection email, but I saw a
No.
couple of folks getting selected, like their talks getting selected. So I assume that my talk hasn't been selected now.
Sometimes they do rolling acceptances, but quite possible.
Yeah.
But it's still, I think, a good talk. So I think you can definitely submit it in other places, and that just gives you more time to build up to it with a SIG or with a kubectl spotlight.
Yep. I have also submitted it, that in KubeCon. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah. So do you want to work on the kubectl spotlight? I guess I'll add it to the to-do list, or would you prefer to work next on steering or docs?
I can work on kubectl one after docs and steering because steering
Okay.
one is almost prepared. I just need to ping the steering members and wait for the response. And meanwhile, I can plan for the kubectl one.
Okie dokie. If you're up for taking on all of that, it'll be a long-term thing.
Also, do you recommend showing a demo or some kind of thing? Because it's literally a CLI tool. We can give a demo for it.
In the
Spotlight.
talk?
No, in the spotlight block for
In the
kubectl.
spotlight? Probably not, since it's a blog. It'd be weird to include like a GIF or a video of a demo. You could include like steps for a tutorial, but kubectl is just a command line tool, so I don't know what you do there that's interesting. It might be more interesting to just like link to, there's a kubectl cheat sheet in the Kubernetes
Yeah.
documentation. So you could link to that and folks could try anything in there, and that would kind of act as a tutorial for folks if they wanted to.
Okay.
I'm going to put in kubectl cheat sheet might be a good resource. All right. I've added that to the to-do column as well. You've got 3 items in to-do. So let us know when you are kicking off one of them and we'll move it to in progress. The next item in our to-do column is the spotlight on SIG infra. There was an old blog. There was interest in picking this up after KubeCon NA 2023 because of the registry change, but there's been no interest in assigning anyone to it, it looks like. So if folks want to pick up a spotlight, SIG infra is open and particularly relevant because of the registry change. Next item, promote new contributor workshop content. Maybe someday. If we want to. We could do it because the new contributor workshop guide is out. It just doesn't have the like
Interactive stuff.
yeah, the interactive
Yeah.
pieces. So we could do something there if
We
we
could.
wanted to, but it's not a high priority, I think.
Exactly.
Cool. Next item in to do, we've got 2 minutes left. We'll see if we can get through these real quick. Establishing a process to prevent duplication in LWKD articles.
I think they did that, did they not?
There is like not an automated process, but we have Excel where all of the caps are listed.
It has a Kate's triage bot comment on it saying this is gonna go stale.
Yeah.
So
I will have a look at it next week if we need to do something or not.
okay. Do you want me to send you the link to it or something so that you remember?
No, I have it because it's some I'm involved in this. Let's put it this way, so I know this.
Yeah. But do you need a reminder is the question.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I'm going to ping you with that.
Yes.
There you go. All right. Next item. We have 1 minute left. Notify comms team when a new issue is created. Can we actually do some work on that relatively recently?
Yes. I just need to still work in the change the file name.
Okay,
From
so that's in
marketing to,
progress.
and then it's basically we get notified whenever anyone creates a new issue.
All right, I'm reassigning that to you and moving it to in progress. Oh.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. And it is at time, so if you have a hard stop, you're welcome to go. There are only 3 items left in the list, so I'm going to finish them up real quick. Figure out the status of Kubernetes IO and determine the next steps. We're going to move that to done.
Might as well.
Buffer access audit. Oops, we should do that.
Yeah. That needs to happen.
Let's do we want to move it to the top of to do or to in progress? Top of to do, I
Put it
guess.
Top of to do, yeah.
All right. And then the last item is add LinkedIn to case.io and case.dev. Oh, the automation. Did you create those zaps to
Sorry.
do auto posts on LinkedIn from case.io and case.dev?
Yes.
I think it
Yes,
is, yeah?
I did. Yes. Sorry. I did not realize I was in the board.
Oh, someone said in April, I can
Yeah.
help if you need someone to work on this. I am a new Kubernetes contributor.
Well, that's not going to work. It's done.
Well,
Like it's
if
been
you
done.
wanted some help with Zapier, maybe that's a willing new contributor that you could train.
Potentially, yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah.
I can ping you that link if you want to look at it. But I imagine we will not do anything with that. Come to our meetings. We remember things better that way. Still not well, but better.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm moving that to done as well. All right, look at that. We actually got through the to-do column and that helped out. So thank you everyone for joining today. We're 2 minutes over. Thank you for sticking around. Are there any beyond last minute items before I turn off the recording? Cool. I think we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and end our recording and we'll say goodbye to our friends on YouTube. Thanks for
Hasta
joining today,
luego.
YouTube.